Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, 24-hour races. We're going to talk about what is a 24-hour race, why some of the reasons are that you should do a 24-hour race, what you might need to bring for the 24-hour race, and how to set goals depending on what stage you're at for the race. As usual, really hope you enjoy the videos, hope you get something from it. If you do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Enjoy. So you might be out there asking yourself, what is a 24-hour race, Glenn? What does it look like? What does it entail? Well, there's different formats. Probably one of the most popular one, and the one that I'm talking about today, is where you run around a set distance of a loop or a circuit for a continuous time of 24 hours to see how many loops or how many circuits you can get on the board. Obviously the winner is he or she that gets the most loops, circuits on the board. So why try a 24-hour race? Doesn't sound like an awful lot of fun maybe for some people, going around and round a 2k, 5k circuit for that length of time. Where's the fun in that? Well, some of the reasons just why you should do it, or why you should give it a go. As I say, some people love it, some people hate it, but I'm going to give you some reasons why I think it's a good idea to try it. The first reason I have for trying a 24-hour race or one of the shorter distances is if you're trying to break into the ultra scene, you're not quite sure how far you can go, you've got that confidence that you can pull out at any point, you can rest at any point, it's a short loop, you're not putting yourself under pressure about worrying running through the middle of a bush or running a big distance where it's point to point and then you're not sure if you can get there or if you have to pull out. So having that comfort of knowing shorter loop, shorter distances, let's see how much I run, can be a great reason why to look at a 24-hour event. And the next reason to enter a 24-hour event, and this might actually be every bit more appetizing or important, is because it's around such a small loop, there's usually more of an atmosphere. There's more spectators, more support crews for other racers, more family, all gathering, smaller location, not spread out over the race of 100 miles or 100 k's. So everybody's in the one spot, usually at the end of the loop or beginning of a loop, and you just have that little continuous party vibe going on for the whole 24 hours. That can be great as a racer. It can give you a real good lift to get you spurred on to keep going, whether you're racing it or whether you're just going to see how far you can go. That extra little atmosphere can be just what the doctor ordered. Another great reason is because the loop's shorter, you don't have to worry about carrying lots of gear like heavy backpacks and clothes and things that you're going to need during the race. It's usually a much more safer, confined environment. Set up an aid station, put your gear out somewhere on the course, and you're going to pass it every 15-20 minutes, half an hour, depending on what length the course is. But that can be a real positive for, again, people that want to just go out and run and some time with friends. No heavy backpacks. Another great reason is that you can run as much or as little as you like, with it being the loops. You're recovering from injury, you're wanting to try and win the race, whatever the reason you are doing the event, you get to go there, do as much or as little as you like, and get to spend quality time with all the crazy other people. Alright, the last reason, and this one might be a reason for some people not to do the race, but my take on it is, what better way than mental training than going around and around and around the same little tiny course for 24 hours. Let's face it, some people are going to quit just because they're mentally not strong enough. Some people are going to quit because they're like, oh my god, this is no fun whatsoever. So for me, good mental training, even though the one I booked in for this weekend, I am not ready for the race as such. I haven't been training for such a distance. My time will be go there, have fun, spend some time with friends, but also top up my mental training, because I know I've got soft in the last few months from having injuries, not training consistently, and it's just a little, you're stronger than this, you can keep going around this loop, let's do another one loop, let's do another one loop, let's just keep going, let's see how much you can do. Great mental training. Last reason you should do a 24-hour race. Okay Glenn, you've convinced me. All this talk of 24-hour races, I'm going to sign up to one, but what am I going to need? What am I going to need to take with me? Well, first up, you're going to need some nutrition and some hydration, some fluids. Now, most races will have their standard aid station set up, so just check on the race that you're doing. But maybe you've been training with your own nutrition, maybe you've got your own dietary plan that you're going to be sticking to. I recommend taking what you're used to. Do have a think about it before you go into the race. You've heard me talk about it before. Nutrition, hydration can have a huge impact on how you race, mentally how you feel, physically how you feel. So have a plan, take your nutrition, it's the first thing you're going to need. Alright, so you've got your nutrition with you. The next thing you're going to need is a chair to sit on whenever your legs don't want to work anymore. Now, some racers have their aid station set up with family, and maybe take a marquee, and maybe take bean bags, might take a little stretcher or something to lie on. That's up to you, but the bare minimum you should take, and Glenn learned this last year from a 12-hour race, is a chair. A chair so you can sit in before the race, after the race, during the race, whatever it is. As I say, whether it's on the ground, whatever. So go the whole hog, marquees, tables, the works, or as simple as just something to sit on, fold out a box, whatever the case may be. But you're going to want it whenever you're deep into the race and you need that little sit down, so don't forget. Alright, I want to slow it down for this one. It's going up a hill. That could be both. Channel's really doing well, guys. Now up till 219 subscribers as of this video. If you're looking at that and it's still 219 and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Only if you've got something from this video. If you find this video a complete waste of time, ignore it, don't do anything. If you've got something from the video, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, but most importantly, leave your comments. Leave your comments of what you've done before, whether you've done a 24-hour race, whether you're interested in doing a 24-hour race, what you think you need to take for a 24-hour race. Whatever comment, whatever springs to mind in this video, get involved. Leave it for others to learn from, get experience from. And as usual, thanks for watching, guys and girls. Back to the running. Alright, next up, you've got your nutrition. You've got yourself a chair, not too comfy, you don't want to spend too long sitting. Next up, you're going to need some warm clothes, or very light clothes, depending on the climate of a race you're running in. Certainly if it's a 24-hour race, it will be going through the night, depending on where that is, what part of the world you're in, what part of the temperature it's going to be. Chances are some warm clothing or a change of clothing for during the night, not only for yourself, but don't forget about your support crew if you have one. Let's make sure they're nice and warm and toasty too. Clothes, heat, change of clothes. So the next one is a change of socks, maybe even a change of shoes. You might need more than one pair, depending on what your strategy is, depending on how much your feet get blistered up, or you want to prevent your feet from getting blistered up. Again, depending on the heat, how much you're sweating, the ground conditions. But for the like of a 24-hour race, my own personal plan, or for a 24, or for a kind of like of a 100-mile race or anything like that I'm doing, I usually aim to change the socks and shoes every 60 to 80k type thing. 24-hour event, maybe 3 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of shoes. Just rotate the shoes, let them dry out a little bit in between shifts. Works for me. You should try it out. Or if you know you can run for 24 hours without having any foot issues, disregard my last statement. Alright, so you've got your nutrition, you've got your chair, you've got your warm clothes, you've got your change of socks and shoes if required. What else do we need? We need headlights, spare batteries, because again, running through the night you're going to want to see where you're going, not just for yourself. Remember, if you've got a little aid station set up, it's going to be easier if you can find the stuff whenever you come in to look. So maybe a little light torch at the aid stations. If you've got a support crew, they're definitely not going to want to be in the dark all night, so don't forget the lights, the headlights, the batteries, things to let you see. It can be scary at night. Alright, so you now know what a 24-hour race is. You know why you should do a 24-hour race. You know what to bring. You've been convinced. That's it. Let's get signed in. You've signed up. Now you're thinking, shit, what should my goal be? What do I want out of this 24-hour race? And that's something that I can help and give advice on why I do it, what I want out of it. Your circumstance might be slightly different. You might be in peak condition. You might have had a good solid training block. You maybe want to train up for this race for 6 months. You want to go out, smash as good a time as possible, and that's okay. Do that. Use that as your goal. Write it down. Make sure everybody knows about it, and go get what you deserve with all your training. Now others, the unfortunate ones, are the ones that didn't quite get their training right, the ones that are recovering from injury, like myself. I fall into this bracket. As I mentioned earlier, I booked in to do a race this weekend. I looked at it. It's called the Light Horse 24-hour race. It's for a great reason. The race is run, great organisers. I looked at the 3-hour, I looked at the 6-hour, and I was like, oh yeah, I should do them, because I haven't trained. But I ended up booking into the 24-hour race. What's my goal? What's my reason behind that? Well, it's simple. 24-hour race starts at 6 PM on Saturday night. I get there, I meet up with a few friends that I haven't seen for a while, possibly a few friends that I haven't met yet, and I spend the day with them. 24 hours, run around circles, get as many loops in as possible without totally injuring myself. So my expectations for the race this year will be fairly low. It's more about the spending time, catching up, soaking up the experience, just having that little bit of a challenge back again. So that might be your goal. You might be perfectly content with taking it as it comes, seeing how you go. You're not in it to win it. You're just in it to see how far you can go, how the body's holding up, learn from it, be around like-minded people, get a bit of experience from it, whatever the case is. Write your goal down, make sure you know what the goal is before you go into the race, so that it keeps you honest, whether it's trying to win it or whether it's trying to keep you from falling into injury again. Whatever the reason is, write that goal down and enjoy.